on, everybody? I'm Aaliyah Michelle.
And I'm Purple, and this is Cocktails and Convo.
Purple.
And Lee.
We have on black today.
Finally. Somebody got... Actually, I texted her like, it was like an hour before we started.
Yeah.
It was like, all black Lee.
And I already had it on.
She sent me a picture, and I was like, what? So as always, we are rocking Purple's Precious Pieces. I just got some earrings on today.
I'm just on the bracelet today.
I actually have a bracelet on too that I actually forgot I had on because it's like super light, but yeah. We also have a guest. We're gonna allow her to introduce herself.
I am Tara Colston of Colston Williams Financial Group, also known as AKA Purple's Money Lady, just in case you guys are ever wondering who she's talking about. I own a small financial firm and business consulting business where I help businesses to start their business, grow their business, scale their business, as well as helping you to go over the financials for your business. But I also help with like personal finance as well. So just establishing a budget, learning the basics to investing, things of that nature. Just kind of helping you get your pocketbooks tight, like we did Purple's.
I'm still a work in progress.
She's still a work in progress, but she's
baby steps. But so we brought you on because, as everybody should know by now, but just in case you don't, we're doing Blackout June, and it's I guess mimicking or modeling after Blackout Tuesday. And so all of this month we've been having guests on that are either doing something in the black community or talking about black topics and all of that jazz. So we're gonna be talking about money today, because you know, everybody wanna get a bag and all of that other stuff. So Lee, I'm gonna let you start.
Oh, okay. Alright, so basically with everything that's happening, everybody's trying to find a way to circulate the black dollar amongst black people. So one of the questions I had is, besides buying apparel and eating at black owned restaurants, the obvious, what are some things that they can do that they're not aware of to keep their money in the black community?
Beyonce recently posted on her website, I believe it's like Beyonce.com or something, like where she posts so many different types of black owned businesses outside of just your traditional restaurants or retail. You can go to an automotive shop. One of the biggest ways is black banks. Google what black banks are out there and then put your money within black institutions. There are black real estate agents. There are black mortgage companies. You really can go out your way to search and try to keep as much of black income within the black community. Black people, we spend trillions of dollars in consumer dollars every year, but we're usually last on the totem pole when it comes to our school systems, resources, real estate, things of that nature. And oftentimes it's not that we don't have the money, it's just that we're misappropriating the income that we do have, and immediately as soon as we get it, we're taking it out of the community and putting it in other businesses with people who don't look like us.
That's true.
All right, so as far as like we're trying to like stay on the subject of everything that's going on currently with the protests and police brutality and the riots. So when all the looting happened in Philly, I know it wasn't just Philly, but I'm going to talk about Philly because that's where I live and that's where I saw it. But a lot of looting happened. A lot of people had their own opinions on it. So we want to ask your opinion on the looting and how did it affect the black community financially? Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? And either way, how?
Okay. So first off, a lot of the looting happened with people who didn't just look like us. Let's be clear on that. It was definitely more than just a black issue with that. Of course, I'm not pro-looting. I do, however, understand the frustration behind the looting. I understand that just black pain is at an all-time high with what's going on and what's been happening to us as a culture. I do, however, feel that extreme measures weren't necessary. Specifically, didn't need to be looting. That I feel is debatable. But there did need to be extreme measures. I feel like a better approach would have been a boycott, because I feel like that would have been more effective and more strategic. But as far as how it affected the black community, oftentimes, and this is something that we talk a lot about when I'm sitting down with customers for business consulting, oftentimes a lot of small black businesses that are just getting started off the ground with little to no money, they don't know what systems and strategy in place, what insurances they should have in order to make sure that they're covering their businesses. And a lot of these small black businesses don't have insurance, or they have insurance but don't have enough. So when we go into our own communities and we're looting and we're destroying property of Mr. and Mrs. Brown's grocery store, and Mr. and Mrs. Brown only have $50,000 in insurance coverage for their business, but we just looted that store and did $100,000 in damage, you're now setting back the very people that you're supposed to be frustrated for and fighting for. So we have to find more strategic ways to be able to say enough is enough. But I always say one of the biggest ways, because it's a two-part issue, I think it's also we need to focus on and tackle mental health, because I think that the black community is hurting. We've never had an opportunity to heal. But the other side of that is economic warfare, is what I call it. We have to be able to show them that those trillions of consumer dollars, we're aware that we have that power.
Yeah.
Right.
And we see all of these different companies that are coming out and that are saying like, oh, we support you. There's a reason that they're doing it.
Right.
They know how much of their net worth, they know how much of their bottom line is contributed to by black and brown people.
Right.
So they want to make sure that they retain those consumer dollars. So they're going to say whatever it is necessary
To keep us frank.
to make sure that they keep
Stay in
that
our
cash flow
pockets.
engine. Because racism is not new. It's not that they didn't know.
Right.
It's not that they haven't seen these disparities and these differences and these outcries and also like these deaths happening. This stuff is not new.
Right.
But the second that we started looting, the second that we said we're not spending our money, the second that we were in the streets and we said we're shutting businesses down, Target, you're not going to get any customers because we're shutting the whole thing down.
Right.
Walmart is not going, like, then they start to pay attention. Then it's like, oh, okay, what was that thing about racism you were saying again? So we have to understand how powerful our dollars are, and we have to start spending within our communities. When you go and you look in the Asian community, Asians spend money with other people, but Asians are pro-Asians. Asians are going to spend with their Asian insurance agent. They're going to spend with their Asian business consultant, their Asian real estate agent. They're going to go to their Asian markets, and they're going to go to their Asian furniture store before they go looking anywhere else. When you go within the Hispanic community, they usually stick within their own selves. You see them coming to the stores. You see the staff change over 3 or 4 times because they brought in family members and cousins and friends, and they're like there's an ownership structure.
Right.
You see that in Italian cultures. You see it in the Jewish culture. But when you get to the black culture, when you get to black people, we spend our money with Asians. We spend our money with Hispanics. We spend our money with Caucasians. We spend our money with everybody but ourselves first.
So just real quick, when it comes to that, do you have an idea of why we do that?
The two-part full question where I said we also have to tackle mental health because it's an emotional thing. We don't value ourselves. We have low self-esteem.
I think we also
as
have
a
trust
people,
issues.
but that goes into low self-esteem.
Yeah.
I don't value you as a person. I don't value what you may bring to the table because you can tell me the same thing, but then Tom from Lower Merion can tell you also the same thing, but you'll for some reason have a sense of security and trust with Tom than you will with your own people.
Yeah.
Why? That's a mental and emotional thing.
Yeah, that's definitely.
And when black-owned businesses,
issue.
one of the things that we have to put a death to, when you feel like you have gotten customer service that is less than satisfactory with a black-owned business, the first thing our people want to respond or react by saying is, this is why you can't support your own. This is why I don't support black-owned business. How many times have you packages got lost with Amazon? How many times have you gotten poor customer service from Walmart, from Target? How many times have you went into Acme and they missed something on your receipt and the thought never crossed your mind to say, I'm never going back to Target. I'm never going back to Olive Garden. I can't believe that they messed up my order at Red Lobster. I'm not going there. The thought never crossed your mind to say, I'm not going to patronize these stores.
Right.
You take it as an isolated incident, and then you continue to spend your consumer dollars with these large businesses. The same applies with our own people.
Yeah.
Like every black
I feel
business.
like we hold other people of our ethnicity to like a super high standard, and we're super critical. Like with me, I've tried, because I have a bunch of stuff that I do when it comes to Per Productions LLC, and I know that I'm not perfect and there might be a slip up one day. I'd rather you come to me.
Right.
Come to me and be like, even if you like not the most pleasant, like come to me like, hey, you messed this up, or this was wrong, or I didn't like this. so that I can approve on it. Don't just write me off though, because a lot of people, you never know where they are in their stage of their business.
Exactly.
And no matter what you do or how you do it, when you're first starting something, a friend told me that it took him 3 years before he started to make a profit in his business. And that his first year was just a bunch of fuck ups. And I was like, a whole year? And he was like 8 months in, I was still messing stuff up because a lot of stuff was new. He was trying to get a hold on the bulk of what he was doing, and then he was also like trying new stuff. So it's like, you know, you gotta give us a chance out here or help each other. Like if you're somebody who is also in business for themselves and you see that I'm in business for myself and I do something wrong, help me. Help a sister out.
Shoot me an email to say, hey, I was recently in your place of business, or I recently patronized you. This is the situation that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also a small business owner. I found it effective in my business, or I've seen other businesses like yours where they do ABC, X, Y, Z. Here's something that you might want to try. Give somebody a second chance when you're, especially in small business, but particularly with our own people. We have to understand that with a small business, most of the time that business owner is a jack or a Jill of all trade, and they're wearing multiple hats, trying to juggle transitioning from their 9 to 5 or work life. And they're trying to just get themselves established and get systems in place, and oftentimes they're starting with little to no education as to where to start. So we have to have some grace with our own people as we're growing and developing as well, because entrepreneurship, I won't say it's new for us because we've been doing entrepreneurship since all the way back. Like Black Wall Street is like the perfect example. Right? We know how to do it, and we know how to do it efficiently, but it's new in the sense of us being able to take it and scale it to a more than past just a mom and pop shop.
Right.
So we have to give ourselves, like, be patient with one another. Give
And
feedback.
And on the other end, as the business owner, you also have to be receptive when
I was
somebody
about to say that.
tells you that they had an issue. Like, take it in, definitely apologize, even like show a courtesy or anything like that, because I've had times where I brought something to somebody's attention and I got a bunch of attitude back, and I was like, I was just trying to help. Like, so it's definitely a two-way street, and I feel like if we work together on that, we'll do a lot better when it comes to like supporting each other and helping our businesses grow.
Yeah.
Customer is always right, even when they're wrong.
Right. That's why I say a lot of the new businesses, especially like the black businesses, we already feel like we have to work a lot harder in order to get, customers and stuff like that. But I feel like a lot of people should learn proper business etiquette as well. Like the reason why a lot of people will put their money in a certain place because they know what they're getting. And like I said, I think I talked about this on my other podcast when I was telling people, like, I had an experience where I was trying to, get my nails done because I usually go to the Chinese people. I've been going to them for years. So I'm like, you know what? She's a black person. I want to try with her. I DM'd her for an appointment. It took her 4 days to get back to me. That's number one. When she said her turnaround rate was like 24 hours, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna pay attention to it. I'm not in a rush. I just wanted to support. Got there and she was 45 minutes late. She never texted me or called and said she was gonna be late. Then she got there and was like, oh, can I eat my food first? And I'm just like, okay. But I'm like, I'm not gonna, even if I might not go to her again, there's plenty of black people who are doing nails. So even if I don't go to her, it's not like I'm gonna take my money away from the black people. It's so many people. The good thing about entrepreneurship with black people now is that it's a lot of people doing the same thing. Yes. If I don't like how this person does their business when it comes to me trying to buy clothes from them, it's another person that's selling clothes that's good too. So I'll go over there to them. Oh, this boutique, I don't really care for this person's attitude. I'll probably support maybe online, but I'd rather go in this person's store because they'll greet me, hey, how you doing, whatever, It's not like I'm writing off the black community altogether when I'm coming to purchasing stuff, but I do feel like put the work in. Like, if you're getting business, I don't care how popular your product is, you have to have business etiquette. And an email or a DM would have been great for that person that you felt that you didn't get the good customer service experience. Right. A polite, hey, I recently patronized you, you were 45 minutes late. Right. You your turnaround time wasn't what, and I understand that things happen, life happens, you're a small
communication.
Exactly. But this is just me letting you know that I wasn't pleased with my customer service experience, and I hope that this feedback is going to help you to be a better business owner or business person, business customer service experience, provide a better customer service experience moving forward. They get a lot of customers or they get a lot of support, and they feel like
you don't like it, oh well.
It's all these other people that support me, and it's like, why do that to your own people? Yeah, and they the ones that support you.
But that's not, and that's where that's what we have to separate. That's not our people thing. That's a person, individual. There are nasty people.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who provide poor customer service in every ethnicity.
Yeah, definitely.
You will find an Asian nail salon where they are awesome. They're giving you champagne, and then you will have someone that roll their eyes and say, "Give me my money
Right.
first," and you can't sit down. And then 3 people then switch it. You never think, our people, because those people.
Right.
No, you.
It's that person.
It's that person.
Mhm.
It's that experience. So we have to deprogram ourselves with instantly, the reaction is our people. It's not our people. It's that particular person had bad customer service.
Right.
That particular person needs to work on. That particular person doesn't respond or is not receptive to feedback.
Right.
And like you said, keep moving
Moving
on to
on.
the next, because you're going to come across so many
So
great
many
black
people,
businesses.
yeah, that's doing something. But one of the questions I had was because I'm getting older, but it's a lot of things that I feel like if I was taught about money when I was younger, then I would have been more prepared because I wouldn't have fell into debt so early or certain stuff like that. So if money
building on the budget.
if money was able to be taught in schools, what specific things do you think they should be taught to kids so they can know like what to do in adulthood when it comes to financial stability and stuff like that?
So some schools do teach it, which is good. And my kids we're blessed that they're in a school district where personal finance is part of the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
My son gets accounting class at the end of when he completes that accounting class. He'll be certified in being able to QuickBooks. He'll be able to do my taxes for me. My daughter takes a class where she learns about just like investing and things of that nature. So, and this is part of their everyday, like their electives, so to speak. So certain school districts, depending on where you live, around the country, they do have that implemented. But in urban settings like where we're from in Philadelphia, we need it desperately. Credit is one of the number one things that needs to be taught.
I didn't find out about credit until after I financed the car and then it got repulled. And I was like, hold on, wait a second.
Teaching kids about what an interest rate is, because we are so quick, like, oh, I got approved, oh, just sign here, but then you don't realize that your interest rate is 29%, and that means that you literally are buying that car twice. And it's like, maybe we should think about that before we sign on the dotted line, teaching kids about credit and interest rate, and not how to strategically get credit, because credit is not a bad thing once you understand it. It actually is, it's a tool that you can utilize and have that as leverage as you're trying to build wealth and you're trying to get yourself ahead. Teaching kids that they need to do a budget, how to open up an account, balancing a checkbook.
I'm doing that with my boys now.
What it is to do a monthly budget, teaching them how to pay themselves first. Teaching them how to be able to break up and allocate needs versus wants. That's one of the biggest reasons why.
Me too.
Our people, we can say our people, our people don't have a lot. It's because we don't exercise financial discipline to say what's a need.
It's so hard.
Versus a want.
Like you could tell, I think I need everything from Amazon.
Listen, I feel like I'm quick to pay for a need. But let something that, like, no, I'm quick to pay for something I want. Let something I need come up. I'll be like,
and that's what is the difference between people who are wealthy versus people who aren't. It's people who are wealthy prioritize what they need over what they want. And they realize that with a little bit of discipline and sacrifice, that if they focus on what they need first, then later on they're going to put themselves in a comfortable place where they can focus on whatever they can focus on whatever it is they want.
That's all working on. That's all working on.
Ask Purple how, like, when we use because so we do what's called a budget analysis. When we do a one-on-one, I have you bring in all of your bills.
Y'all have to hit up Tara and do a budget analysis. I promise you will not realize how much money you are spending nonsense on until she.
And I get highlighters, and I get a spreadsheet.
Listen, I'm about to cry.
I got different colors, and we literally sit there. We go through your bills, your credit card. It doesn't.
Your bank statements.
Your bank statements, and literally we go through your bank statements, and we highlight. And then it's like, oh, Purple, you didn't realize. And this is just me throwing out not her actual numbers, but like, oh, Purple, you didn't realize you spent $437 on Starbucks and Wawa.
Oh yeah, Wawa.
And I've literally had a client that spent almost, I want to say about $800 on like Wawa, Starbucks, like eating out in between lunch, $800 some odd dollars. And this was a single young woman who had a decent income. It was just her. She had no kids.
You don't notice.
And she was spending on average about $700 to $800 a month on eating out and lunch for work.
Wow.
But she was behind on her credit card payments. She wasn't paying off her
Just like
student
me.
loans like she was supposed to pay off her student loans, and she was saying that she wanted to save money to start a business. But that's $800, and not to say that some of that wouldn't go to
in a month. That's $400. But if you go to the supermarket,
that's somebody's rent payment.
Yeah.
That you're spending on, and it's like, I don't have it. You do have it. It's just that you chose to spend it on your vacation instead.
Mm-hmm.
You do have it. It's just that you chose to spend it on your kid's birthday party and make sure that they had the flying unicorn and the balloons that pop with glitter in them. Like, you do have it. It's just that you're choosing to spend your money on things that you really, really want as opposed to things that you need.
Yeah. So originally on our show, normally we talk about dating and relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think one of the questions that we've asked more than once is, when do you bring up finances in the dating process?
Right away. Right away.
That's what I feel like.
Right away. That's
What's
not
right away? Like,
right away, meaning like, oh, okay, what do you do for a living?
Exactly.
Okay, yes, I'm a boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's a great industry. You can go and Google what that
And
industry
figure out how much they
average
make.
makes. Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, I know what that
is that bad to like?
No,
Google
it's not. No,
sometimes?
it's not.
Honestly, if you're like, especially at our age, like we're not kids, we're not teenagers, so we're looking to build with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of want to know that kind of thing. Like, okay, what can they like? All right, so you making this amount of money. So then you want to kind of go into it further when you get in front of their face. Oh, what else do you like to do? What do you do for fun? What do you like? I mean, all kinds of
It's
questions.
not. You
Yeah,
have a
sure.
checklist, and it's like, so what's your credit score? Okay.
So wait,
how
I
much
was
you
just about to
make?
say that.
Like,
So
no.
when dating, are there like, because you're a financial advisor, when dating, is there like certain financial deal breakers for you?
Yes, for me, yes.
What are they? Give us some.
Okay, so you have to be credit conscious. If I see that you have no inkling of what your credit is, or you're not trying to work that, like, I just like someone who's proactive versus reactive.
Right.
Specifically in finance, I see, you don't necessarily have to be where I am.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily have the same bankroll that I have,
Oh,
or
boy.
like
Bankroll.
No, that's true.
But you don't. I need to see that you have ambition. I need to see that you're strategic and that you have a plan. And like, you're a hustler. There's a battery in your back to make sure that you're working on all of those different things. But when you can see that someone's just financially irresponsible, they're constantly spending money, and they just always out. They got name brand everything, but then
they can't take you out on a decent date.
Or they have name brand everything, decent car, but then they live with their mom. Or they have this hole in the wall efficiency apartment. Not to say there's anything wrong with where you are, but they may have a really small efficiency apartment, but you see that they have like literally a penthouse
on their body.
And it's like, not saying you had
up.
Not to say that you didn't have to get the penthouse, but it's clear what you value.
That's your priority.
Over the other. You may be wearing an investment property. Like, I'm always thinking of assets.
Right.
Put your money in assets, not liabilities. So that's what, to be clear, because it's not so much that is anything wrong with someone who likes nice clothes or likes nice things. But I like to see people who are financially responsible and spend their money on things that are assets that are going to bring them more money.
Right.
And they will have an ROI, a return on their investment, versus liabilities that aren't going to bring them anything. And when I see a man that has a bunch of liabilities, and I don't see that he
is a
has
liability.
any assets or is working to accumulate assets, then yes, you are a liability.
Right.
So if a guy like ain't really had no swag, like he wear jeans and t-shirt all the time, but he got a few like rental properties.
I would rather that guy, because I can go and make you my $10 and dress you up and take you shopping.
Oh yes, because you got a bankroll. Please dress me. Can I be a boo? Hey.
But yeah, I would rather the guy who's financially savvy and may seem like the cornball than the guy who has all of the flash. But behind it, it's a meme, I think, on like Instagram, where it kind of shows like the guy who has like the flashy everything, and then it shows like the guy with the
and
glasses.
it say like bank account total.
Yeah, but bank account total is like negative
15.
And then the other guy has like 300,000. But it's like, and being a former business banker, I specifically used to be a banker. I would have clients that would come in, women and guys with their Gucci bags, and sit down and going over their accounts, and it's like $300 in your account.
Yeah,
but your bag is a $1,200 bag.
Yeah.
And then I would have guys or women who coming in and they're like 99 Honda Civic. and that person owns like 8 investment properties.
Mm-hmm.
They got like $600,000 sitting in their account. They have multiple accounts on which they're managing and keeping their money separate and allocating and brokerage accounts. And so we have to focus again on just things that are going to be assets versus liabilities. We as a people focus so much on things that bring us no return.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you do should have an ROI. I don't care if it's friendships. I don't care if it's financial investments. I don't care if it's the job that you're at. Everything you do should be something that's going to bring you a return on your investment, your
right.
time, whatever, but specifically your money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of people that's looking to like open businesses, and you know, a lot of the businesses that did get looted, especially around my way, they aren't going to open back up. So people are like looking to like buy the property and start their business there. What advice do you have? Like, what do they really need to know in order to not just open the business, but to try to remain successful, especially if they're trying to like own the property or rent the property and stuff like that? Like, what kind of businesses would be best to open when renting storefronts and stuff like that, besides retail?
Well, that depends on what you want to do. I don't think there's anything specific as far as like a storefront is concerned. It's just about making sure that you do your research on the industry that you're getting into. Do your homework. You need to know what your competition is. You need to know what they're doing well, what they're not doing well. Is there an avenue for something that you could do where there's the need that you can fulfill to set yourself apart? You need to know what the average costs and expenses are and overhead. And then also you need to brand yourself. You need to have a marketing plan. You need to scale. That's what separates a hustle from a business. A lot of people have a lot of hustles. There's a lot of hustles on Instagram right now, and that's great. But the difference between a hustle and a business, a hustle is you can make a quick flip. You do a service, a product, you're going to get some money in return, rinse and repeat. A business means that you have put systems in place, that the players are interchangeable. You can create a business that has structure, that has systems, that has operations, and then you can step down and put her in your place. But because you created structure, because you created systems, because there's operation, there's a blueprint, it's a well-oiled machine that's going to keep on running. The players are interchangeable within a business, but the infrastructure, your systems, that's what is going to determine whether or not you're going to sustain.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess my question kind of piggybacks off yours, but for a lot of people, when it comes to being an entrepreneur and being in business for yourself, you know, with Perfect Productions, my main thing is events. When COVID-19 hit, there was no more events.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice on, whether currently or previously, on, I wouldn't say like a recession proof, but what are some things that can be put into place for entrepreneurs that are full-time entrepreneurs, just in case like their source of income is cut?
Okay.
So, for example, I mean, I guess you get what I'm saying, but like I said, for example, I plan events. I also work a 9 to 5, so I was okay. But there's some people who do events, whether you're a DJ or a host or a performer, you do that full time. Like, that's how you pay your bills. And when COVID hit, it was just like everything stopped. So, of course, financially, they were hit. So, what's some advice that you can give them to maybe like lessen the blow or be more prepared for that if it was to happen again?
Okay. So one, this is a culture shock for business owners to tell you whether or not you had good bookkeeping and you had good money management within your business. Because as a business owner, you are your own safety net. So you should have already been putting money away for a rainy day, just in case of an emergency or some type of instance like this. Most business owners, reality, did not do that. This at least is you now knowing it, kind of that if I knew what I knew then, now I would do it. So now you know moving forward as you rev up your business that you need to do that. Like making sure that you're putting away a little nest egg, and that comes back with talking about paying yourself first and getting your personal finances in order. 2, you want to go ahead and research all of the different grants and opportunities alone. There's what's called the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, where even though the deadline has come to a close if you haven't already applied. There's also what's called the EIDL loan, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. That's something that you can go on to SBA.gov and you can apply. That application process is still currently open.
Cool.
So just knowing the different resources out there that will kind of help to supplement the income that you're not getting.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I feel like this is an opportunity to really find out who your hustlers are,
Right.
which is one of those things that you do want to hold. Even as you scale and become a business, you have to have that hustle in you initially. And hustlers are going to find a way to sell ice to an Eskimo. And if you're an events planner and you now can't do events, you might decide to start doing Zoom virtual events.
Oh, y'all didn't even know I had a grill and chill the other week. That joint was popping.
Exactly. Or you might start giving steps on how to plan your own event, and they can purchase that in a PDF on your website and for only $5 or $10. But if you have 500 people purchasing your $5 product, then you've now created yourself residual income that's coming in monthly as you're promoting it and marketing it. So just getting creative with how you can venture out from what it is your industry was. If it closed down, there are certain industries where it's just human reaction, so it's just really nothing you can do about it until things start to normalize and open back up. But most businesses, it's a way that you can pivot. Like you always, and that's just one of the keys to understanding being an entrepreneur.
Right.
You have to always be prepared to pivot.
You gotta stay on your
and
toes.
adapt. Like you have to. That's like imperative to your business. Like if you can't adapt and pivot at a moment's notice, then you're most likely not built for entrepreneurship.
True.
Yeah, because I did a few things since I can't.
Not long term anyway, because in not long term. If you can't pivot, you're not going to last long term.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that was all that we had for today. We definitely thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
My
me.
money lady.
Yes, very insightful.
Yes.
I
So you guys can check her out. You need to make an appointment.
I
for
know.
real,
I'm
for real.
scared now.
I really feel like when Tara came into my life, something changed. I'm not gonna say I'm the most responsible with my money, but I'm definitely a lot more frugal.
Yeah.
I be broke for real, but like I don't know. Like,
but a good broke because
opens,
your important things get paid.
are paid, yes.
And you have that peace
yes.
of mind
I just,
knowing
you know what's crazy? I just made a post and was
of.
like, I hate paying stuff off my credit. And I literally stare at my credit score like this better go up. And as soon as it do, I'll be like, oh, all right, that 300 on a credit card wasn't that bad. Cause you know,
yes, because
we making progress, right.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm giving and not getting anything in return.
Right.
I just gotta keep in mind that what I'm getting in return is very important. And that's the hard part, because it's nothing like tangible.
Really
like I can't hold a credit score, so it's just like.
For my birthday, while the world was shut down, I walked in and I bought myself a new car.
Oh, ballin'!
But
such a baller.
The moral of
you
that,
need a girlfriend.
But the moral of that was I was able to walk in with comfort because I was
you knew you was getting it.
I didn't have to sit there worrying about.
Listen,
as they checked my income,
you be like,
as
oh
they checked
man,
all
I
like I didn't have to worry about like,
right.
dang, I
Am
hope
I
my
gonna get it
insurance
right?
is-
I've been there.
Like I just knew it was like, okay, I want that one.
Yes, that's why I'm saying next year for my birthday, I'm gonna buy a car.
This year, actually, the crazy thing was I don't know, I've been doing stuff spur of the moment, so I kept saying like I wanted to buy a house. But I don't think I'm ready to buy a house. I'm gonna get an apartment. So I went, looked at an apartment, got approved for the apartment, everything. I said, you know what? I don't think I'm financially ready to take care of the responsibility of having a house or apartment. So you said I'm going to make a school. So now I'm going to make a school to get my LPN license. And I said, instead of making my goal to be in a house by my birthday, I'm going to make sure my credit is at least by 700. Because I'm like, okay, my credit going up. And I'm like, dang, a 669 is only fair credit. Like, what is good or great credit? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get paid 700.
But that's
so.
great though.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that
I'm like, I'm
you're
doing good.
well and you're going in the right direction. That's
I'm at a 699. I'm like so close.
I hate that.
So I'm happy.
I hate
I'm
that.
like
y'all can't give me this point.
So I'm glad I did say, you know what, I'll have my LPN license by next year. So next year I'll start the ball all over again as far as like trying to transition out of, you know, either getting a apartment or buying a house. I'll figure it out by next year. But I really want to buy a house.
Well, Or buy a duplex. It's because you only have one son, right?
Yep.
Okay, so buy a duplex, rent out the
Rent
other
out the
one,
other.
Yep.
and it's going to let your mortgage pay for
Come
itself.
on
You
now.
have a place to live, you are a homeowner, but you also have some tenant that's going to be constantly paying your rent, and then you can pull out equity, rinse and repeat.
Exactly.
What? Equity, rest and repeat.
Definitely do that. So.
I'm fixing up my mom's house. I'm gonna get some equity out of that.
Mom already fixed up her house.
But that's generational wealth.
Yeah.
Transferring that's how it should be.
Yeah, and that's more of what I'm thinking of. Only because like my mom, she was, she bought a house. She was happy to be a homeowner, but then she didn't do anything to it. So I'm like, now, and then remind you, they're building up everything in our area. So I'm like, if you, you don't gotta do too much, but I'm gonna put some money into their house because whether it's sold or whether I inherit it or whatever the case is, it's gonna be an investment, like you said. So I'm gonna get something out of it, even if she just gets something out of it. Like that's still something that I feel like need to be done because I was just gonna move back out too.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sick of this.
I ain't been comfortable.
I went all the way there, saw it, applied, and all that. I said,
if you can live with your parents, I will say this. This is, I know I want to be grown. I don't want to.
It's not even about it. I need my space.
I get it. But that is also something that other cultures do differently from us. Their parents and those children do not rush to part ways.
Right.
They stay with their parents for as long as they possibly can to solidify themselves financially. And you also, if your parents are financially responsible, you also have that mentorship for them to kind of help you and guide you, and then situations where you can take over the business, where you can take and build your credit, you can save up large lump sums of money so that you can put a down payment on a house. Don't be afraid. Like sometimes we feel like it's like a defeatist attitude, like we should be shamed for saying no. You're actually being smart as opposed to not going out and jumping.
As long as you're doing something while you're staying with your parents.
If you're saving money, then if you're sleeping in mom's basement and you partying every
chilling
weekend
and you
just
sleeping until 3 in the afternoon.
shame on you.
Right.
But if you are saving, if you are building your credit, if you are using that opportunity to go to school, hone your craft, taking advantage of having that support system, that's how these other cultures are getting ahead. Because teamwork makes the dream work.
I was like, oh my God, Mom, I'm like, I'm so happy that she kept this 3-story house. I still got my bedroom because it's like, it helps me a lot because I'm like, I probably wouldn't be able to go back to school and then try to maintain a mortgage or this and that right now.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
Like I'm making good money, but I want to be comfortable. Like I don't want to have just enough to pay my bills to take care of my son. I want extra money, you know?
Yeah,
so like,
to do leisure stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah, definitely get with Tara so you get your money in order.
Right.
I know I'm not the only one that be out here spending on dumb stuff. I see y'all Amazon boxes on y'all posts. Y'all need to get it together. You did not need that 33rd phone case. The one you had before that was fine. But yeah, so definitely, like always, guys, make sure you watch our past episodes if you haven't. Follow us on Instagram, Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's. You got to put 2's up. So every time we say with, you got to. All right, so Instagram, Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's. Facebook, Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's. And most importantly, YouTube, Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page and watch all of our episodes. I will have our deleted scenes and behind the scenes and all that on the scenes for y'all shortly. So thank you. We still need drinks and sessions. We need music again. We keep first of all, we asked for music for like 3 episodes straight, and then we get some, and then nobody else. Like y'all don't keep sending. You got to keep sending it. We need it for every episode.
We always drinking something random.
Oh yeah. So today we drinking. Well, I was drinking my bourbon straight, which is why my hair wrap is probably trying to come loose. But they were drinking bourbon and Coke. Tara, I don't even know if she touched her drink.
I did. It is on camera.
Okay, we're gonna check.
Sipped it.
We're gonna do this.
Yes.
So y'all can see if she actually drunk
pretty or something. So.
You know what? We actually have some suggestions in our DMs. So we are not ignoring you. We got you. We try and wait until we get back to our regular episodes to bring them on.
Suggestions.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so it has to be something that we can actually play. They have to have the rights to the music. So it can't be like anything that's already out by Wiz Khalifa or whatever you was bumping when you pulled up. Listen, she's a whole different person when she pulled up, y'all.
Scratch T.I.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next episode.